Today, the playground is going to be extremely helpful for those developers who are looking to get started with Web3.
All right, so we have some special guests here today. They're going to be talking about a collaboration that they've done together, but I'm just excited to talk to these guys. They're some of my favorite people in the space. Guys, Ed, Manu, welcome.
Thanks, Brandon. It's a pleasure to be here once again.
Likewise, hello, Brendan, Manu. Pleasure to be here with you both.
All right, so before we jump into exactly why we're here today, I am curious as the HBAR economy is doing better, it's expanding. I'm kind of curious how different businesses in our ecosystem are doing. Manu, how have things changed now that the HBAR economy is kind of taking off? How's this bull market treating you so far?
Well, the product side, I think everything remains the same. Like we keep pushing, we keep developing with our roadmap. I would say that this has somehow accelerated or, like everything we were doing because now there's a lot of liquidity, there's a lot of attention. We've already seen like all products, the wallet, the market, the tools, the plazas, they're already increasing in traffic. And it's been beautiful to see after that initial pump. So price is somehow driving attention and awareness. And I think that is already benefiting Camel in that sense. Of course, we launched the utility token, KBL token, back in November. We did the pre-sale and then the TG on December. And of course, that liquidity is also helping us, fundraise somehow, get more liquidity to develop. So, more is better in terms of liquidity. So yeah, happy to see this happening.
No question about that. So now let's jump into one of your new products. You're launching or you've launched a new product called the Hedera Developers Playground. What are its goals?
So this was a collaboration with Hashraf. Hashraf approached us with this idea of improving the developer experience, the onboarding experience for anyone that is, joining the ecosystem and wants to start tinkering with the coding before installing, anything in their desktops or having to do, any, further steps. So it was a very good idea. We loved it. Like in terms of we are developing, we've been using the Hedera SDK, the Hedera services. So Hedera is already an amazing place for a developer that is coming to Web3. But this was even like, okay, how we can even bring this, and make it even better. So the developer experience is that it's a way of just coding within the browser. So it's a very quick way to iterate, to try ideas, to learn about the different services. It's very intuitive. So this was an idea that we loved, and we've been partnering with Hashraf to bring that developer services to make it happen. So hopefully this will help even bring more people to the ecosystem.
Well, it's all about the developers. Now, Ed, as Manu mentioned, you're collaborating on this. What do you envision for this product?
So I envision subsequent improvements to this initial iteration of the playground. Today, the playground is going to be extremely helpful for those developers who are looking to get started with Web3. Hedera, as Manu mentioned, is a great place to get started because we have familiar languages for traditional Web2 developers, languages like Java, JavaScript, and Go. And so the playground is going to start by supporting two of the most popular languages, which are JavaScript and JavaScript and Java. And then for Web3 developers, it's also a great place to quickly iterate, build ideas, and try, different approaches or strategies on a browser without installing anything. And so coming up, in subsequent iterations of this playground, we want to see how we can make that onboarding process for Solidity developers, how we can add more languages, perhaps how we can add artificial intelligence layers on top of this playground to really make it core part of that developer onboarding experience and make it feel frictionless, make it something natural that is just on a browser, that is very intuitive, easy to follow, easy to try, and helps developers accomplish and get things done more easily.
Sounds good. All right, Manu, well, why don't you just kind of walk us through the platform a little bit and we'll just take a look.
Definitely. So here's where we will be seeing, the developer playground. So the first things that we have here are the Hedera services. So for example, we can switch between, the Hedera consensus services and have, a quick look of the different functions that we have here, the Hedera token service. So for example, let's say I want to launch an NFT collection. So I really want to see how the cuts looks like. So I would actually go create a token. And here you can, easily start looking at, okay, what are the different parameters that I will need to use? Okay, what is the token ID? So you can start tinkering. You can edit the code, you can write, you can delete. And once you have the code ready, you could execute. And if everything is ready and if everything is okay, then you will see, the output, and it will get you some ideas, quick ideas on very on different services on it. Well, for example, we have the smart contract services, and then you can, in an easy way, you can move from JavaScript to Java, and then of course you'll start again, and then you can just tinker with whole playground. So this is basically.
Ed, the first thing that I'm kind of struck by when I'm looking at this is it's really in depth. There's all kinds of different things on each one of these services that you can get into.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I absolutely love about the playground is that it's integrated with the Hedera developer portal. So it's right there in the home that we have today for developers to open an account to get started. And it's a tool that is readily available for devs to start playing right away as they open their accounts. And in fact, one of the things that you see here is that anyone can access this, if they want to view and edit code. And then for that execution part, that's when you're prompted and invited to open that Hedera developer account so that it's all integrated from your credentials that you have already for your testnet. So a very easy way to just get started and get onboarded. And then once you're logged in, it's lovely because it also supports the two different types of keys that are supported in the Hedera ecosystem. Transitioning between those two key systems is very seamless. Same with the languages as Manu showed. And then support for all the Hedera services and even different utilities like scheduled transactions and additional code snippets that you can throw in there for your learning or for even experimenting and trying your best ideas.
I absolutely love it. So, Ed, I am going to change subjects here real quick because we do have some other Hedera events that are going on right now that I wanted to touch on. One being the latest Hedera Hackathon, and the other one being HederaCon. Can you just run over those events real quick for us, just to give us the latest?
Absolutely. So the hackathon that you're referring to is something that is currently in the judging period. I had the chance to review a lot of those submissions that came in. And let me tell you that the quality is something that we're always impressed by. We're amazed by that. And me and my team had the pleasure to take a look at those. And we received submissions along all the different tracks that we had, a total of 8 tracks. And those submissions are currently with the judges. So we're waiting for that process to complete before we can announce the winners towards the end of this month, beginning of February. And so that was a hackathon that took about 6 weeks of hacking from November to December, and it focused on tracks like AI and data integrity, tokenization, DeFi, sustainability, privacy and data, decentralized identity, and a few other open tracks just to encourage creativity and also continuity from the previous hackathon. And so, yeah, I'm super excited to see what comes out of this. We certainly have participants from the previous hackathon that we had earlier this year and a lot of new participants as well. So these hackathons are a great opportunity for devs to discover Hedera, evaluate it, try it out, build something compelling, and hopefully stay within the ecosystem as we welcome those new devs as well.
Yeah, some of the things that came out of the last hackathon were really innovative, and I don't expect anything less for this one. So the next thing we wanted to touch on was HederaCon coming up in just a few weeks. It's going to be the first conference, first broad-scale conference that we've had since 2018 as far as the Hedera ecosystem. Can you tell us a little about that?
That's right. Super excited about that. Align very much with ETH Denver. So there will be thousands of developers there for ETH Denver. So we see this as a great opportunity to also bring a lot of people to this Hedera event. So it's going to be on February 25th. And so you can go on the website, find the information about the event, and register for that. So it's going to be a fantastic event because it's going to have 2 tracks, one for thought leadership. There's going to be panels on various topics relevant to our field and our industry, areas like tokenization, sustainability, AI, and much more. And there's going to be a dedicated track for developers as well, where we're going to cover what is new in Hedera from the innovation perspective. We're going to touch on topics like block nodes, EVM, and tokenization, and much more for devs as well. And there's going to be opportunities for interfacing with our developers, interfacing with our technical staff. So, if you have feedback, if you have questions, those are topics that we can cover while we're there at that event. And of course, it's going to be a great opportunity to connect with the community. We're going to have a very strong community presence. I know projects like Kabila, many others are going to be present, and I think it's going to be an absolute blast having that in-person event happening there in Denver.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch. Manu, you're going to be there. What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we've been building for almost 3 years, on Hedera for almost 4 years. We've been talking with so many people. It's like friends, but we haven't met yet, in real life. So the first thing to me is, meeting people in real life. I think there are so many companies and guys and people that we're looking forward to meet. And then, as Ed was mentioning, I think it would be a very interesting event to network and meet other people, meet other players, and show what we're doing at Hedera. Because I think, again, we always say that once people use Hedera and once people start using the network, it's very, very hard to look back. So hopefully we can bring and on board some of new Deps.
Couldn't agree more. There's so many people that, I haven't met before that are going to be there. Rob Allen is a great example. I talk to him pretty much every week, but I haven't gotten to meet him yet. So I'm going to have that opportunity coming up. So I do want to give you guys an opportunity to pass on anything else that we might not have touched on. Manu, I'll let you go first.
Well, we keep building. We see today, we saw that, what these last days we saw, the Trump coin and live. Listen, you can take it however you want, but this is the future. Like we see personal brands creators, politicians, they will be tokenizing their brands. They will be doing a lot of stuff, and NFTs and tokens will play a big role. So we think this is the future. It can be done, better or worse, but this is definitely where we are headed to. So hopefully we can tokenize a lot of brands, a lot of trades on Hedera, and we do it the right way. So yeah, looking forward to do that and helping many creators with capital.
Absolutely. And I am going to be working with Kabila here coming up to kind of tokenize my own brand to allow me to continue to create content in the space. So I appreciate all the help that you're going to be giving to me here in the weeks to come. Ed, I'm going to give you the last word here. Anything else you'd like to pass on?
Absolutely. In the short term, I want to highlight the community call that is coming up next week. So we're going to cover a variety of great topics. Be sure to tune in for that to get those updates. Going back to ETH Denver, Hedera Con, we're going to have for developers fantastic bounties and challenges for people to build. We're going to have things that are going to be beginner friendly, things that are going to be focused on EVM developers, and of course, AI and agents, which is a fantastic topic today, in this day and age to build towards on Hedera. And so want to encourage people, if they're going to be there, if they're developers, that's a great opportunity to build very compelling solutions. More longer term, midterm and long term, looking at this year, I'm very excited for the opportunities that I see ahead. Internally, one of the things that we've said is the stars are very much aligned for the whole industry and for the whole ecosystem to have a fantastic year, right? We have all these aligned trends like artificial intelligence, like tokenization, like Web3 and blockchain entering the spotlight once more with hopefully, what will be clearer regulation in jurisdictions like the US and, so much more that can bring a lot of adoption into the work that we do in this industry. So I'm very excited for the year ahead, and hopefully we can focus on building and, speeding up that process.
Well said. Guys, thank you so much for hopping on here today, and good luck with everything you're doing with the Hedera Developers Playground.
Thanks a lot, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
I'm now posting these interviews of Hedera builders independently to my channel. The community, influencers, and media outlets are free to use this content to spread the word on what's being built on Hedera. Once they're all uploaded, you'll be able to go to my channel and search for whatever topic or team you're interested in to find more information. Or you'll be able to get the most recent Hedera news by watching the latest HBAR weekly update. So check them out.